And welcome back to the live morning show, brought to you by Don Bullock Chevrolet as well as several other sponsors. And we are, as we mentioned all the time, in the middle of political season here. And I have special guest Mr. Ryan Jones with me on this segment. Ryan, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me up here.
Look, I could tell that he was here because sometimes you can just feel energy come into a building. I knew when he was here, you could feel it, the excitement. So he is definitely excited about what he's doing here, running for Tarboro Town Council Ward 5, so we'll get to that. So Ryan, what I like to do, thank you for being here, and first of all, thank you for being part of the political process. I love seeing people bring enthusiasm and energy to that and running for things. Give us an introduction to Ryan Jones. Who are you? Where are you from? All that good stuff. Let's start with that.
I'm Ryan Jones, homegrown, born and raised in Tarboro, North Carolina. Lived there all my life.
There you go.
I work part-time for WRL, cover high school sports. And by the way, I also do WHIG's Game of the Week with my main man, Wes Bradshaw. We're going to see Fight play against Northern Nash, so we're going to see how it's going to work that night. So
there you go.
That's that part.
Absolutely.
Also had worked with East Carolina Council, Boy Scouts of America, marketing director, on the Tarboro Parks and Rec.
Nice.
Ward 5 advisory board.
Nice.
Downtown's promotion committee. I do a lot of things community. I also be the host or the MC of what's happening in the Commons. So I'm kind of familiar with Tarboro, born and raised.
Absolutely. I will say this: there is a special pride that Tarboro and their residents have in their community. I will say that for sure. And I think sports has a lot to do with that.
Yes.
They are definitely passionate about that team, particularly the football team, but all the sports at Tarboro. I think you just have something very special over there in that community. And as I think about communities that I've visited, that I've gone to, Tarboro definitely stands out about, the love and the passion people have for that community. I'm sure you've seen that as you've grown up.
Yeah, I definitely have. Tarboro is a big community-oriented place. It's homegrown. A lot of people who've lived there always find time to come back to Tarboro, no matter where they at. If they live in California, New York, places like that, they still find a way to still say Tarboro's home. You'll know a person from Tarboro no matter where they live there.
Oh no, I know, yeah, absolutely, and they are proud. They are proud to say they. And sometimes I feel like I don't get that from other cities, but I've never run into somebody that shuddered to say they were from Tarboro. They are proud of it. Sometimes the Rocky Mountain, I'm from Rocky Mountain. I don't know why, but Tarboro seems to have a little bit of an edge on us on that. So you talk about marketing and sports and all the stuff that you've been in. Where do you you remember getting a spark back when you were young? When did you know you wanted to do those type of things?
So for me, I've always been homegrown into sports, doing sports, covering sports. My family was raised by my great-grandma, and my mom was going to school, going to college, and my grandma. So in that area, it was like raised by the village. Yeah, and a lot of those guys had me in the sports and had me doing things of that fun nature. Nice. And I want to say that kind of inspired me, but I never knew what my gift was. I did have a hard time growing up, processing where I want to take my talents. And now I've seeking them and I've gotten them where I need to have them.
There you go. A very important question that I will ask you. Duke, Carolina, NC State, who's your favorite?
Oh, well, everybody in the family are Carolina fans, but one or two people are Duke fans, and I'm one of them.
Duke?
Yeah.
My guy. My guy. I knew I liked this guy. I knew I liked this guy for some reason. Absolutely. Sometimes when people, like I say, you walk and you just like something about them. I'm probably the biggest Duke fan you'll ever meet. I don't know, maybe you are. You probably argue that you are, but you and I could have some good times here. I love Duke athletics, absolutely. So we're glad. So let me take you, so as you grow up, as you're in Tarboro, you're obviously involved, you're following your passions. But politics is a different story. Where did Ryan Jones first get the idea, I might want to look into politics?
So for one, it was always juggled to me 2-3 years ago. Some people would always say they felt like I had the voice, I had the correct way of jumping into politics. At first I was like, oh, no way. Okay. I said, oh, no. But as time went on, people say you have to go in order for me to be the best version of myself, I felt like sometimes you got to get into uncomfortable spaces and help people in those uncomfortable spaces. Being in uncomfortable spaces help you grow, and I feel like me being in an uncomfortable space will help all of Tarboro grow.
Absolutely. Well, no, I really like that. That's something that I honestly try to teach my children, and I've tried to teach them their entire life, is to have that mentality. You know, to have that. You know, he has to bring me some every now and then too, so don't feel bad most of the time when I get started. I really like that, and I think that's something that would set you apart, to have the mentality of get out of your comfort zone, learn and grow and progress, and you can find out a lot about yourself. Now, and I'll put you on the spot a little. What have you learned about yourself since you have embraced this new idea? Like, never thought about politics. What have you learned about yourself in the last few weeks or months or whatever has led to that?
Although I'm an extroverted guy, I also learned in politics it's a different type of extrovert. So me being in politics, I've learned to grow. I've learned more things that I didn't know about, and I learned a lot of stuff that, you know, most people jump into politics because they want to help people. They want to save the world. They want to save their area. Okay. But they don't know the concept of what goes on behind the scenes. Like I said on the podcast the other day, one of my podcasts, just for politics with me and J. Kelly Walker.
I love that guy.
So yeah, so I talked about, like, you know, it's a lot of red tape behind the red tape that people don't know. It's like you want to fight for people. You're going to fight for people. That's why I'm running, because I'm going to fight for all people. Now, how the votes may go, and I think people don't understand, like, even though you may vote and you may do what you need to do to fight, as long as the people see me fighting, as long as they see me doing my best to make sure that I'm doing well for my constituents of Ward 5, then that's how it's going to be executed.
Absolutely.
I'm about action.
Absolutely.
Let's talk in more action.
Absolutely. Did and I'll just ask you this: Did Jay Kelly have a lot to do with you? Like, would you say he kind of? And the reason I ask that is because I look at him as someone. I've had him on the show several times. We text a lot. As a matter of fact, I think the world of him. To me, he represents somebody that has enthusiasm, cares about the young folks, gets out and involved in everything. He has that energy, and he cares. Would you say, did he kind of bring you along to this point a little bit, or?
He's been huge in this step of me getting into politics. He's been very influential. He's like told me to get involved and, you know, keep it the main thing. As long as, Ryan, you be yourself and be who you are. He pushed me. Now I have other people that have been in my corner from behind the scenes that have, like, been prepping me for this moment. I think I've been prepped for this moment. Sometimes some moments just come and you just got to embrace it.
Absolutely. Well, you seem to be very primed for it. General question. Let's go back to the town of Tarboro itself. As you have grown up there, as you've been passionate, now you're leaning towards the political realm here. What do you see as the greatest need in the town of Tarboro, and how can you, as a hopeful elected official, address those needs?
Great question. Business, spending money downtown. I mean, it's a lot of businesses that are down there in Tarboro that are not thriving, but they could be doing more. Some businesses, some people may say those businesses are thriving, but I look at it from an overall perspective. If everybody's downtown spending money, bringing money to the area, you have people who invested in those buildings, who invested, who want to see that ROI, who want to see return on investment, not just return on investment, because if you have more businesses, you have more jobs, you have economic development, then you're able to be able to spend more money downtown. So that's one thing. Then the next thing is the tourism, the arts. You know, I want to bring jazz. I want to bring pictures in the Blunt Bridges house. I want to be able to see arts from all cultures there in Tarboro, and having more events, like even having an adult field day or something like that on the town commons. You know, having events there. Absolutely. You know, more cultural events, like not just seasonal. I want to be very consistent in bringing those, because those are the things. When you have action items that are available, that are there downtown, then more people will come downtown no matter where it's at. People like you might say, hey, look, I want to go to Tarboro, see what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely. And my wife and I have eaten at a couple of the restaurants there on occasion that she absolutely loves, so I do think there's some good things going on. I want to turn to our youth for a moment, if I may, Ryan. Ryan Jones, a candidate for Ward 5 Tarboro Town Council, my guest at this time. As we look at politics and we see everything that's going on the national level, the state level, how important is it, in your opinion, to reach youth? And I'll reference, unfortunately, we have to reference crime and, you know, the very unfortunate situation that happened at the Tarboro Southwest football game the other night. and Sheriff Atkinson's plea to the community and to parents and faith-based leaders, how important is it to reach our youth? Not just from the politics side, but just in general, and what would be your plan to do that?
So for one, I'm always volunteering, helping out youth in the community a lot. That's for one. And two, the youth are our future. The youth are our future. And I think it is important to have things in place, have activities and discussions. And I'm even presenting to right now, if I'm elected, I'm presenting once a month with the community and the police officers, with the children, to have conversation. Not just conversation, just be wasting time, but conversations to drive execution and try to drive a way to where we can create more opportunities.
Yeah.
Right. I'm always a solution-driven, problem-solving person. So that's that part. Then not only that, they have to have things. Like in life, what I learned, most crimes are done when people don't have jobs, when people are not busy.
Idle
they get in
hands,
desperation mode. You never know if a person, has to put Pampers, get Pampers. If a person has to put food on the table, if they don't have jobs and opportunity, and some people do have bad past, but at the same time, you still want to find a way to keep those past mistakes from keep revolving and repeating itself.
Right.
So I'm a person big on what can we do to create more activities, create more solutions, even giving children that are of age jobs to where they can actually be actively busy and doing the right thing. And then if they see that, then that'll trickle down like a domino effect to the future and generations when me and you are gone. We'll still have ways to have children being adults, teaching children the same philosophy and the same plan.
Amen to that, and I think that is a very vital part of the entire process as you look at it and say, you're right. I mean, idle hands is where you get in trouble. So having these, I really like what you said about the interaction with law enforcement and police, because I give you an example. There was a good friend of ours. He's like an adopted son to me. He works at one of the school systems, and they were doing field day, and he said he was with his elementary kids, and a police officer came out, and he said all the kids were instantly scared of him. And you're like, oh my, like running, and I don't think that we want to have kids that's their opinion of law enforcement. Like, we want them to know these are people that love us, that want to take care of us, want to protect us. We understand we have incidences and all things where sometimes things don't go the right way, but overall we want to have that important community relationship with law enforcement and everything like that. That leads me to my next question, Ryan. You and I were talking a little bit off the air, the importance of getting into the neighborhoods, the families, the communities. What have you been doing on the campaign trail? What will you do if elected to be involved with families and the community and neighborhoods as a whole? Because really, in order for towns to be successful and get to where they want to go, it has to be that community joint effort. What would be your plan to address all those things and bring everybody together in unity? Community engagement, unification is what I'm about.
I've been knocking doors right now during the election. I'm still gonna knock doors. I'm gonna have something where I call Citizen of the Month,
nice.
Employee of the Month for the Tarboro. Things that help us be able to unify with each other, talking to each other, having real conversations. So recently, this is where I learned my stage. So I'm gonna give a quick story. So quick story is,
absolutely,
I met some people 3-4 years ago, they don't look like me, so in a good way. And I learned the conversations. We live in different areas of Tarboro, and I understood that living in different areas of Tarboro don't mean every person is bad. So you start having these conversations with them, you start learning each other, and as we go on, we have a lot of things alike, just in different areas. And I feel like we need to have more conversations like that overall in the town itself.
I agree.
And you need to be able to see everybody for their own difference and their point of views. Do we all agree on everything? No, we don't.
No.
But can we have a simple conversation and figure out how we can create peace?
Yeah.
So, but I'm big on bringing the community together, bringing it all together. A lot of people tell me all the time, I'm the mouthpiece in Tarboro. I'm like, okay, I hear you.
That's a good thing. But, that's a compliment.
Yes.
That's a compliment. Well, and I think that your voice and your enthusiasm will go a long way, and I think it will resonate with people. Like I said, I felt it when you came in, when you originally met and introduced yourself to Lim and I. I mean, I could feel your excitement and energy and enthusiasm for this. It was genuine. Like you could feel that, and I think that that's what people will want to see. As we begin to wrap up, our time always goes fast, but I want to make sure I one or two more questions, then give you a closing thought. Voter registration. As you get out, what is your message to people about the importance of either continuing to vote, registering to vote if you never have? How do you help people understand the importance of being part of the process?
Voting is very important. Voting is very important. The reason why I say voting is very important is because we all have these discussions. We all say voting don't matter, voting on this, vote that. I don't say that. I don't think you say that. But what I'm saying, you have a lot of people that come out and say vote doesn't matter, and then as soon as a person they decide that they don't like gets elected, then we're over here fussing about something that you could have already had a positive influence on. So in order for you to get the correct people in office, you have to get out and vote, whether you like it or not.
Right.
You have to do it. It is imperative to get out and vote, no matter if you vote for me or vote for whoever. But I'm just saying in general, voting matters for whatever your livelihood or your purpose and what you want for your town.
Absolutely, absolutely. Appreciate you delivering that message. As we conclude, Ryan Jones, candidate for Ward 5, Tarboro Town Council, if you could wrap up your energy, your vision in a couple of concluding sentences, and also as you ask our audience for your vote, what would be your final message that you would like to share with the people?
So the people, WHIG live morning show, presented by Don Bullock Chevrolet, correct? I can't see
correct.
it. Okay.
You got it, man. This guy's gonna be taking my job here. Yeah, absolutely. He sounded good doing that.
So my message for the people that's gonna vote for me, Ryan Jones, is the next chapter. The next chapter is not about deteriorating what has already been built in Tarboro. It's about elevating it and giving it more. And I have the energy, I have the positivity, I have the ability to take Tarboro to its next chapter. Tarboro has a lot of influential things and positive things, and I see a real vision for the next chapter. Vote for me, you're voting for the next chapter. Vote for me, you're voting for your future. Vote for me, you're voting for generations of people having real opportunities, not just some, all having the opportunity to do whatever they have to do in life. Voting for Ryan Jones is a vote for the next chapter, and the next chapter can begin in November.
All right, Ryan, thank you so much, man, for taking the time, bringing your energy, your enthusiasm. We certainly wish you all the best in your campaign and your mission and candidacy here. Thank you once again for your time, and wish you well. You've been watching the live morning show. When we return, we will get our final look at weather, and then I will have some concluding thoughts. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this.